Hello. Hi guys, welcome you all to the DevOps Delight YouTube channel. In today's video, we are going to see yet another task of kodekloud engineer. I am here on the Chrome browser. Let me type engineer.kodekloud.com/practice. Since I already logged in, I directly got this tasks UI. In your case, it may differ. It will prompt you to enter your username and password. Once you have given those details, you will also get the same screen as like me. Okay, today we are going to see another task of Terraform. Let me click on the start button and create a security group using Terraform. Today we will look into this task. Let me click on the start button. It may take 1 or 2 minutes to load our task. Meanwhile, I'm skipping the video here for a while. Okay, we got our task. First, let me read the task, then we will look into the solution. The Nautilus DevOps team is strategizing the migration of a portion of their infrastructure to the AWS cloud. Recognizing the scale of this undertaking, they have opted to approach the migration in incremental steps rather than as a single massive transition. To achieve this, they have segmented large tasks into smaller, more manageable units. This granular approach enables the team to execute the migration in gradual phases, ensuring smoother implementation and minimizing disruption to ongoing operations. By breaking down the migration into smaller tasks, the Nautilus DevOps team can systematically progress through each stage, allowing for better control, risk mitigation, and optimization of resources throughout the migration process. Use Terraform to create a security group under the default VPC with the following requirements. The name of the security group must be Nautilus-SG. The description must be security group for Nautilus app servers. Add an inbound rule of type HTTP with a port range of 80 and source CADR range 0.0.0.0/0. Add another inbound rule of type SSH with a port range of 22 and source CADR range 0.0.0.0/0, ensuring that the security group is created in the US East 1 region using Terraform. The Terraform working directory is /home/bob/terraform. Create the main.tf file. Do not create a different .tf file to accomplish this task. Note, right-click under the Explorer section in VS Code and select Open in Integrated Terminal to launch the terminal. Okay, so before starting this task, let me open Terraform documentation. Terraform documentation to create security group in AWS. Let me search like that and click on the first link, and here we go. So let me click on example users. See, recently they changed resource of AWS VPC security group underscore ingress underscore rule. Earlier we used to have simple ingress, but now they changed and asking us to follow the same format for setting up ingress rules for security groups. And the reason for it is they mentioned it here due to some security constraints. They're asking us to use this format. If you can go through it, you will get to know the reason for it. Right. Now we don't have main.tf file, and by default they have given the provider.tf file. Here they mentioned AWS as the cloud provider and region US East 1. That is where they asked us to create a security group. So we don't need to do anything on region part. Now we just need to focus on creating security group and then ingress rules for it. Now we have two ways. Either we can click on this plus button and a new file will be created and we can name it as main.tf file, or else we can use the terminal by pressing Ctrl plus Shift plus this symbol. Now let me do the touch main.tf. Now we can able to see main.tf file here. Let me click on it. And our task is to create a security group, and name of it must be Nautilus-SG. Let me get the template from the documentation. So here is the one. Let me copy it. We will make changes here and there to the documentation example. See, resource AWS security group, it is the same. And then here, allow -tls, let me remove it and put our name of the security group, not less -sc. And here also we need to replace it, not less -sc. And then description. So description also they have given specifically. And so that let me copy it and replace the text of default description. And then VPC ID by default, it is going to take the default ID. So we don't need to mention anything. Let me remove it. And then tags. So tags part also we need to remove this and let me put our security group name. All right. Now we need to have inbound rules. Two inbound rules. One is for HTTP of port 80 and CIDR range, and another one of SSH and of port 22 and CIDR range 0.0.0. Okay, let me copy this one here, paste it, and then let me make the changes. Here, let me remove allow underscore TLS underscore IPv4 and put it as HTTP. And then here we are referring the security group, right? So we need to have a security group ID. For that, we need to mention our security group name. So what it is going to do is from this AWS underscore security group resource, it is going to get the ID and then CADR IPv4. Let me remove this and then keep our CIDR range. Copy it, paste it here. Now, so port number should be 80, right? So let me remove this, put 80, same here. And then let me write the description. So description is that allow inbound rule of type HTTP at port 80. So it is our choice, guys. If you wanted to give, we can give the description. If not, we can skip it. It is not going to make any impact. It's just for our understanding. And then second one is SSH. So let me remove this HTTP and SSH. And then port number should be 22. Same here. And here let me put SSH. And then port number should be 22. And finally, we need to have one egress rule because by default in AWS console, if we do create any security group, it is going to create on egress rule. But when it comes to Terraform, to make whatever the default configuration in AWS console, we need to specifically mention the egress rule. All right, let me copy paste it and then here let it be, and then here we need to replace the security group name from where it is going to fetch the ID. What is the name of our security group? Not less -sc, right? So if you wanted to have description, you can. Now we have our main.tf file. Let me go to our terminal. Let me do the Terraform workflow, Terraform init, enter. It is initializing the backend. And whenever we do the Terraform init, so our Terraform code is going to integrate our code with the AWS or in any of the provider that we mentioned in the provider.tf file. In our case, we are using AWS as the provider. So it is going to connect with our AWS. And then let me do the Terraform fmt so that it is going to format the code. Terraform validate, check the syntax. Yeah, success means the configuration is valid. Now let me do the Terraform plan to see what it is going to create. The plan is 4 to add 0 to change. So what are those 4 things? One is ingress rule of SSH at 22 port, and another one is of HTTP rule, and another one is of egress and security group. These 4 things it is going to create. Okay. So now we need to do the Terraform apply so that configuration will be applied. If we do the Terraform apply, then it will wait for us to provide our approval to say yes or no. But if in case you are sure that whatever the changes that you are going to make, then you can simply do the Terraform apply hyphen auto hyphen approve, so that it will be goes on for completion of the implementation. It will not wait for us to give the confirmation. Once the changes were made, at the end we can able to see ID of our security group. If in case you wanted to validate, you can do the AWS EC2 security. Sorry, you need to describe it. EC2 describe hyphen security hyphen groups and hyphen group hyphen ID. What is the ID of our security group? SG hyphen, and then we type 91, enter. See, here we got our output in JSON format. Let me show you guys. See here egress rule, and here is our HTTP rule. To validate our work, now let me click on this check button, click on confirm. System is evaluating our work. Let's wait for a while. Yes, we did it right. Congratulations. That's it for this video, guys. See you in another video with another Terraform task. Till then, keep learning, keep practicing. Thank you.